In 1980, Fiat, the Italian car manufacturer responsible for making such beautifully named cars as the Seicento, the Cinquecento, the Tipo, they decided to make this car. But at that point, unfortunately, they had run out of cool Italian names to use for the car. So they decided instead to name it after a like fat black and white Japanese bear thing. And they called it the Panda. This particularly clean example is a 1992 Sky model, which means it doesn't have a roof, which was a bit of bad luck for this particular car because it has been left outside for the last 13 years. And also, I don't know why, but this thing hasn't got a windscreen either, which has only led further to the damage of the interior. Thankfully though, because I'm an idiot, I've decided to fix this car up, make it nice again, get it back on the road, because I've always wanted one for the collection and they're only small, aren't they? So I mean, like, how hard can it be? The thing that drew me the most to this car is that it looks to me, I'm fairly good at spotting cars. Again, it's solid underneath, I think. You know, we're gonna have to sort of get it up in the air and have a bit of a better look. But bodywork wise, there's no big dents, there's no big rust. There's a bit on the bottom of the doors there where Pandas usually go, but not bad at all. It's very clean. There is a little bit of lacquer damage from stone chips and stuff at the front here, and a bit of bubbling. Maybe where it's been painted before, I don't know. Until we sort of get underneath the dirt, it's going to be difficult to find out, isn't it? But it's very complete, everything's there. Nice set of hubcaps, you know, it's got potential, it really has. There's a couple of bits that are going to want a lick of paint, like up here. That's a bit sort of sun bleached and stuff, and around the edges maybe again, yeah, could do with a bit of paint. But also on the sills, I think there, you know, they could do with paint. And I think they're very solid, but I think you can see that one there's got a little bit white. Yeah, not great. Underneath it though seems to be quite nice, and I know this because I went to pick it up from Nottingham and it was very sort of unceremoniously brought out to me, ready to put on the trailer on a forklift truck. So I managed to have a look underneath and yeah, seems to be pretty solid. I don't know what it's going to be properly like until we get it up in the air though. All the lights and everything look good. It's got a nice private plate on it, which is going to make it look pretty cool. The exhaust's on the ground there, but I think it looks solid. It's just a broken rubber, so we might be able to sort that. All of these tyres, these Super Steel 657s made by Federal, have not lasted. They've really not lasted. None of them are holding air at all. They're all just like this. So I put a bit of air in them to get them off the trailer, but they just go down almost immediately and they are cracked everywhere. Really bad. It's a shame as well because I've got such good tread. But I've been out already and spent a bit of money. Before I even know if this thing's going to run, sort of time constraint wise, I thought, let's just get some stuff on the way. So what I've done is I've booked in a windscreen, which is amazing. That's coming Tuesday, it's now Thursday. I've also bought what I think is a roof kit, which is just the cloth apparently for the roof. That's coming all the way from Italy, which is pretty nice, and I'm looking forward to getting that on. But I did move this bit of the roof, and there's a bit of a nasty surprise waiting underneath there, which is a bit annoying, a bit of corrosion. But we'll sort of have a look at this in more detail. I mean, it's just a case of a lot of rivets, I think, to change it. It doesn't look too hard at all. All the seals and stuff look nice as well. There's quite a lot of parts available for these, brand new still, so that's good. A few places in Italy and France have really sort of managed to keep the parts scene going for these things, which is awesome. So you can get a lot of stuff. Shipping and stuff is a bit of a pain because I'm in the UK, but there's you know, there's breakers and stuff around for these cars, which is handy because I know I need that mirror. But I think the main problem, apart from the roof, is going to be the interior. The interior is pretty, oh no, it's rough as. We've got our work cut out here, like in a big way. Oh, good Lord. So you can see this is all, you know, it's really just knackered, isn't it? But thankfully a couple of these have survived quite nicely. They're all good. It's just this front bit here. Now this is, I think, I don't know if it clips on somewhere underneath or something. Not sure, but this is part of the roof and you can see it's just rotted away entirely. Really bad. But it looks like, again, only a couple of sort of 12, 13 mil bolts, and you can get this whole thing off, and then we can see what it's supposed to look like and maybe make a new one or do something. I don't know, because you can't get these bits. You can't get any of that brand new, which is a shame. So we're going to have a little think about that. Maybe either make something, or it's going to be interesting how we fix it, because I don't know yet. I can see just by looking down here that there are a couple of rods and stuff left in, because there is bits missing, as you can see. This is a Panda 1000. Now, I did have a little look to see what the 1000 meant on this car, and the 1000 actually stands for the amount of venereal diseases that are being harboured in this interior. The door opens quite nicely, and again, really clean, not rotted out or anything. I think that's gonna be all right. Sills and stuff, A-pillar. God, look at it though. Oh, it is absolutely hacking. I think the only way I can do anything with this interior is to give it a quick hoover so there's not glass all over the floor, and then just strip it out. Strip it out in its entirety, pull the carpets, everything, and just see what can sort of pressure wash back to life, because, I mean, the seats, they're not ripped, they're not torn, they're just in a bad way. Really bad way. Look at that fern gully there. Can you see that? Oh, look at that. Good God, get me a knife and fork. Yeah, it's rough. So sad that it had to sit outside with two massive holes in the roof. What a shame. Oh, I can see a clip for that roof there. Also, this bit of headlining has dropped, so I need to see if there's a way I can get that fixed back up again, because the headlining doesn't look too bad. I got a key with it, and I got a V5, which is awesome, and it's showing 43,000 miles, which is really, really cool. And I think it's genuine. Looking at the body and the wear on stuff, I think it is. This steering wheel has gone in a couple of places. I might, and it's, you know, it's rough in the centre. I might look at getting a different steering wheel, because there are some steering wheels and bosses available for these. I might look at getting something nice for that. I don't know. What's hiding in here? Okay, let's get the key. Come on, please tell me we're just... Oh, hello. Oh, hello. Oh, yes. Oh, that made a funny noise. That panel's missing. Oh, my... Oh, whoa. What nest is that? How does this thing come out? What do you mean it's part of the back seat? How... Oh... How do you... You can't just unclip the parcel shelf. Are you kidding me? It's part of the rear seat. Okay, fine. They obviously, Fiat knows what it's doing. I'll let it slide. It's just... Okay, they're snapped. Rear arches and stuff are nice, but yeah, it has been a bit of a villa for some spiders. And rear arch there isn't so bad. That, however, is pretty rough. I don't know what that is, but there is obviously a nest there inside. Can you see that? Oh, that is some cobwebs. That's probably the worst cobwebs I've ever seen in a car. Weird looking. That is a proper alien style nest, isn't it? Right, we're going to have to, unfortunately, remove these gentlemen from where they've been for the last 13 years. I like the way the door's open. It's just a little button, and then you put your hand on the door. Oh, nice. See a bit of corrosion on the bottom of the door there, but nothing too bad. Might pump it full of some stuff before we do anything, though. Little door handle. Feels like it doesn't work. Windscreen rubber, but I think we're getting a new one, but it's there if we need it, so that's really handy. Doesn't look in bad nick either. And yeah, that is a part of the sunroof. This seat's a bit torn there. Staple that back together, innit? Whoa! Okay, that is just as bad as you thought it was going to be. Another one, great. The windscreen wiper's inside. Ace. Yeah, I don't know. What, have we bitten off more than we can chew here? Is this just too rough? I don't know. Oh God, it's stinking. Lots of dust and everything. Nasty. Nice little Blaupunkt there. I can see a choke as well, fully extended. I sure do know how to pick them. You can buy like running and driving ones of these for like £4 grand, really nice clean ones. I paid 750 quid for this. I'm wondering what it's going to cost me to get it back on the road. Shall I keep a little tally for us? Okay, 750 quid spent so far. Obviously, I was jesting before when I said that the 1000 stood for the amount of venereal diseases in the car. What the 1000 actually stands for is 1000 cc, or I think it's 997 or something cc. It's a 1 litre engine, which is more than enough for any car, really. I think it's like 40 odd horsepower or something. But yeah, which side does it open from? Is it from here or from there? Where's the machine? I just pulled on that there and it felt like it was doing absolutely nothing. Right, I think it comes up at the front because there's no hinges on either side there. Let me see if I can get a hand from Richard over there in the container. Oh yes, did it. Perfect, cheers mate. Oh, it's got an engine. Someone's left a wheel in the engine bay.
Ballast.
Weight distribution.
Yeah.
Hey, do you reckon you could...
You're back to it.
Do you reckon you could make something for us? Dickie's a superstar welder, if you didn't know. He makes racehorse. Like, what are they? What do you make?
Equine, equestrian simulators.
Equestrian simulators.
Yep.
What's that?
They're for riding schools, jockeys, racing stables, riding for disabled, polo players, bolting over in Europe.
Wow.
So they go all over the world.
So something like this, I'd imagine, would be dead easy for you. On the back of this car here, look. This is part of the roof, so it's just, whoops, it's just 2 bolts oh dear, to take it off. It's this frame, but it's supposed to have a flat plate all the way along it there.
Yeah, it's rotted away on it, so I just want something going in.
So if I took the frame off, do you reckon you could put just a flat plate all the way across that sort of bends down? I think it's got to bend down onto that bit there. See how that bit is? See that there?
Yeah.
Nice. Got that on camera now, so you're going to have to do it. Mate, these are 4-cylinder 1000cc powerhouses. Look at this. It's the only good tyre on the car. It's inside the engine. Yeah, it's not attached though. Look at that, it is brand new. 20 years ago. Steady. Right, steady. Settle down. Well, something's been living there, hasn't it?
Yep. Something's been living.
Bless its heart. Whatever it was has made a lovely little nest there. Squirrel's nest or something, maybe. Thankfully, there's no dead ones lying around though, so that's good. Look at these inner wings, though. Look at the bonnet.
Inner wings are good. Very good.
Bonnets do go on these as well. This is absolutely beautiful, man. Beautiful. Only done 48,000 miles, this. Do you reckon this is going to go? Do you reckon it turns over?
There's a good chance.
I think there's a cam belt in there somewhere. I should probably think about taking off if I can be bothered. Might not, though. God. God, Jesus. Nothing to report in there. Can't see anything. Tidy. Nice, made a nice seal though, so hopefully it's not all rusty inside there. What about brake fluid? Oh my God, it's a bit of a colour. Like treacle. Look at that. Delicious. But it's got some. Great news. Look at all the grease around these as well. It's had some proper maintenance, man. Bloody hell. I discovered the home of the dipstick. And it was, oh yeah, this side. Down here. Ugh. Oh, Dickie, have you ever seen such clean oil?
Running off.
Look at this.
Running off. Clean oil.
Good God. Hey, smells like bamboo shoots.
It's a Panda, so you could eat them. It's running on Panda juice.
That is really nice oil. That is like brand new. I bought an oil and filter for this, but it doesn't need it at all, does it? You know, it would be such a waste of money, wouldn't it? Including checking the cam belt or fitting a new cam belt. That would be a waste of time and money. Because, as is usually, I don't always go after cars that are like this, but same with the last one that you saw. These engines, they're called the fire engines, not fire engines as in the things that come and rescue you after you've tried to make chips pissed on a Friday night. This is a fire engine, that's what they call them, and they are non-interference, which means you can completely ignore everything that is happening on the cam belt side until it goes bang and then you just put a new one on. So it's fine. Just think of it as a fan belt. Anyway, right, let's chuck a battery on it and let's see if anything comes to life, because there's one thing I'm worried about, and that is the electrics behind the dash, because it's going to have been rained on for many, many years. And are the electrics going to work? Because if they're not, you know, I don't know, it's going to be a lot of cleaning up, isn't it? A lot of work. So, battery, turn the key. Yeah. This battery hasn't got a handle for added inconvenience. Throw this one in the nearest river on the way home, and let's take these little plastic things off. She's in, dinky little battery there, and yeah, I mean, what's left to do? Let's twist the key. I need to see some life out of you, please, Panda. I really do. Oh, is that a battery light? Yes, look at that. That is an ignition light. Come on, right, okay. And I saw those needles move. Just want to attempt the start motor. Why did it sound like the engine was seized? Oh! Did you hear the engine click for a second then? Like it was seized. But then it started to turn over. Listen to that. Uh-oh. 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 Thank God for that. Right, okay, the engine's turned over. Amazing news. I mean, they're fairly unkillable, these cars, hopefully. They do get a little bit of overheatiness, being a, you know, 4-cylinder Italian car. So I'm hoping all the stuff like the head gasket and thing is going to be okay. So what I would like to do is to get the air cleaner off, change the spark plugs, and while I'm in there, I want to have a little look at them and see if they can tell us a story. How is this held in, do you think? Are they clips? Oh, whoa! Look at that for a bit of, oh, look at that for a bit of design! Come on, you beautiful thing! You Italians, eh? What do you like? Ugh, that's awesome. And that's our little air filter. You could change that in less than 20 seconds, I think. But it is very, very clean, indicating that this car has been well looked after. And I can tell by grease on the battery terminals as well that it has been pretty well looked after, considering, you know. I've wanted one of these things for so long. I've had an eBay saved search for one for ages, really. For, you know, it's got to look right, it's got to be right. And I found this one on Facebook Marketplace, which is pretty cool, isn't it? 750 quid. It's not too bad. I mean, if it runs, I think we'll be halfway there. She's a bit sooty and sweep, but not three bad at all. Like it. It turned over so well as well. I'm not going to pour any stuff down the cylinders because I don't think it needs it. Everything looks pretty nicely sealed and stuff in it. It's only been sat for 13 years without running, so it should be fine. Number 2 cylinder, quite black again, and I would attest that that's potentially a car that has been run with the choke out for a little bit too long. Hey, I don't know. I'm just suggesting. I don't know. You make your own minds up. All 4 spark plugs have been changed, looking lovely. Now this thing here, this fuel filter, is in such a lovely position, isn't it, really? They've helped us out a lot there. And I'm just going to take it off and replace it with a new one. It's super easy, and all the pipes and everything look really nice underneath all the grubbiness, so I'm not too worried about that. Oh, don't tell me there's a separate key for the how can I... But I need to put... Oh, no. Oh, that's the only key I have in the world. I'd better not bend it or break it trying to make that thing work. Is there anything in here that I could use? I've not had this long. I don't really know what any of it does, but can I use any of it to try and force this petrol cap open against its will? There's a flathead screwdriver bit there, that might work. Yep. Gonna get one of those for both pockets. Right, that's open. Let's pour some juice. This car has a plastic fuel tank, so I'm hoping that it's not all rusty inside, because how would it be? But I've changed the fuel filter, so I'm just going to put some of this in here, and then we're on key turning territory. I mean, I could check the coil to see if there's power going to there, but I don't want to. I don't want to do any of that. I just want to fire her up, bring her back to life, get the jet wash out, get her down the road for a test, you know. Let's make her sing, make her dance once again. The sky. What are we calling her? Oh, the fire engine. That's it. What a strange little petrol cap. Lovely. Safe and secure. Just use a flathead screwdriver for everything. Okay, right then. I think we're ready to go. Now there's a tiny bit of juice in here, maybe just to sort of help it out and get it going. Just definitely far too much. I hope the mechanical fuel pump comes back to life, but it looks like it's about a 30-second job to change it if it doesn't. Come on, baby, little Fiat. If you run now, I will do anything. I will make you perfect. I promise. Once again. No, let's not mess about with this stuff. Let's just turn over. No, come on. Yes! You beautiful thing! Look at the fuel coming! Oh, yes! Oh, I saw this on Facebook Marketplace, and I saw what it looked like. But I've bought so many bloody cars in my life that even just from the first couple of pictures that I saw, I could tell this was a thing that was going to run again. I could just tell. I knew it. I knew it deep down in my bowels. I knew it. And I think a lot of the reason for that is it was just complete. One of those cars that has just been switched off and they've walked away. And that counts for a lot. You know, it doesn't take much to bring them back to life. Go and get yourself one. Go and find one. They're out there. 750 quid. Set of tyres. Down the road. Oh yeah, and a windscreen. And a new roof. Probably brakes. Anyway, let's try and make a run again. Have a little bit more. Lovely. Hopefully it's going to start to suck the fuel through. I've just thought, I've not even pulled the choke out. And it's cold. Well, it's not cold, it's 16 degrees today. I'm in a t-shirt for the first time this year. Amazing. Oh, aren't you a little diamond? Come on. No, stop it. Why are you doing this for? What does that even mean? Oh, what happened then? Did we just run out of juice maybe? Is it not getting through? Wonder if that's not getting through. I wonder if there was fuel in the tank and it was horrible fuel. Tiny bit more for your health. As you can see though, we're filling up nicely on the fuel filter, aren't we? So the fuel pump's certainly working. Oh my God, she's so sweet, but why doesn't she want to stay running? Should we get a bit more choke? I don't think so. Can I see any jets working if I pump the throttle? I cannot see any jets working, so maybe we've not got enough fuel in there just yet. Let's try and close that choke a little bit more. Interesting. We've got fuel up to here, but I don't know if we're not making it through here. Something sticking maybe, I don't know. There's no fuel coming in. I can feel a lot of blowback from there as well, but the fuel, it's not going in. I wonder if I should put some fuel directly to there, see if we can get it running, and then we might know if we've got a blocked fuel pump or something there. So what I'm thinking is, if I could take this connection off here, and then I can see if the fuel pump's working, because fuel will be spurting out, you know. Oh, there is fuel pumping out of that. Okay, that's not our problem. I think it could be one of those things, if it starts to free itself off, being covered in fuel, I'm hoping. Don't die, don't die. Why you die? Why? 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 Interesting, this is definitely a fuel getting into the engine problem. I've just had a look, quite a nice simple setup. This is a lovely little Weber carb as well, really nice. Unfortunately, the floats are inside here and you have to split it and there's a gasket in the middle. I haven't got a gasket, I haven't got a rebuild kit. I don't really want to start mucking about with that, to be honest. If I can make it work another way, I would like to, but I can't. Again, I'm just sort of I'm not seeing or hearing anything from the... Oh, hang on. Oh my God, I heard it. Did you hear that? It's going to run. It's going to run. That was fuel. That noise we just heard was fuel being pushed in. So it must have had a bit of crap in the way. And it's... Oh, come on, please. Fixing it. I didn't even have to do anything. I just sat on the computer and read things. Oh, come on. See if we can hear that again. See, it's gone now. It's gone now, which would indicate that the bowl isn't filling up. So there's nothing in the bowl now for it to sort of work with. So we've got a couple of cheat items. This is brake cleaner. This is Easy Start. Easy Start does a very similar work to sort of brake cleaner. It does clean things as it's going in. But the brake cleaner is super good. So if there's any sort of crap in there, any leaks or anything, then this is going to really help. Just clear all that crap out the way. And if it's all cleared out the way, you know, in the needles and stuff, without taking anything apart, because if I start unscrewing things, I'm into adjustment and stuff then, and it might have been set up really nicely, this car. So I'll try this first. And if we don't get anywhere by just spraying stuff, we'll have a bit more of a go. One of the biggest mistakes people make with classic cars is to go straight into the taking apart stage, and people worry about brake cleaner and stuff that, oh, it's going to wash all the cylinder walls and stuff. Think that's going to make any difference? Think it's going to matter? It's ran for a bit now. There's going to be oil everywhere. Don't worry yourself with problems like that. Annoying as well. I can't really cover that to try and suck crap through either, because there's stuff in the way. But that might have worked. Probably a bit too much of that there. come on. This is a massive bucket of coolant that I nicked out of the pickup truck because I'm waiting, it's burst a pipe, right? So I've got a bucket of coolant lying around. In fact, I've got two. There's another one over there. And that one is from the Porsche. I just can't throw it away. A, because I don't know how to, because of, you know, killing things. And B, because, well, you're about to see. Waste not, want not, you know. This is a paint strainer, AKA a very nice sieve. And I'm gonna fill this coolant up with this old coolant. Because waste not, want not, you know. Coolant's expensive. So it just sieves out any crap, just delivers lovely coolant into the header tank, just because I might be getting this thing hot. Fantastic. How much is in that now? Oh, it wasn't even that low. Okay, and oh, that is pouring fuel in every time I do that. It should run. Come on, is this going to be more difficult than... She must be running off the pump by now, running off her own juices. Good news is I think a thermostat might have opened, which is nice. And she is kind of idling away, but it doesn't sound amazing. Oh, too much. I think I just saw the fan kick in. Yes, the fan's kicked in. Look at that spin round. Oh, my thing's falling down. Oh, what's dripping here? I might just be running across from where I've spilt something. Let's go for that for the moment. Big exhaust blow from down there. Temperature's rapidly going up. Let's see if we can get some blowers on. Oh yes! I can feel hot blowers coming from there, which is the best news I've had all day. Oh yeah. Hot, warm blowers. There is some sort of blowers. Just keep my eye on that temperature. Now there's something I need to find out, but it involves going in there. It's got glass all over the seats and everything. I've got an idea. I need to know if this thing moves, you know. Oh, it looks like brand new in here now. Okay, I'm inside. Right, handbrake's off. Have I got a clutch? Clutch pedal is moving. Feels like it's potentially attached to something. Now I've not got any tyres. Oh, wants to move. Interesting. Now, when I touch the throttle, it wants to die. I can safely say that she does want to move, but it's not as straightforward as that because all the tyres are flat, so it's tough. I haven't got many horsepowers for me to rotate these things. Plus, I can almost guarantee the brakes are going to be fully stuck on. One of the annoying things about that though is it is sort of stuck there in the corner where the access isn't great to it, but it's not bad. I'm just keen on the temperature and stuff really, but she seems all right for the moment. Temperature gauge is working though, which is great, isn't it? I've just been letting her sort of run for a little bit now and just sort of seeing if she calms down a bit. And temperature gauge is still in the okay zone, probably a little bit high, but in the okay zone. But she has just been revving the bollocks off for the last 20 minutes. We've still got hot heaters, which is nice. I mean, again, not as hot as I'd like, but kind of hot. And she's now calmed right down and she is sort of ticking over at a much more reasonable RPM. No choke or anything. So our little fix of spraying stuff down there may have worked, but I don't really know yet until we can get some wheels and drive it and stuff like that. Master got me working. Oh, 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 almost slid off, straight through the sill. Steady, oh, steady. Come on, just getting it as high as I possibly can, the reasons for which, oh, oh. I don't think the jack's supposed to do that, is it? Whatever. Yeah, jacking it out quite far, the reasons for why will become apparent. I'm going to put a couple of axle stands underneath there. I'm going to take the wheels off so we can have a good look at the brakes and stuff, but also so I can jet wash as much as I can underneath. I've done a lot of Fiat 500s in my time, you know, the new ones, and it's amazing how much better condition this is in, considering it's like, what, 30 odd years old? Amazing. Right, that's, can I not get these any higher? Probably not safely, no. That looks pretty safe, doesn't it? I'd imagine. Yeah, it's fine. It's not going anywhere. Over here, we've got some slightly taller ones, which is good. All the wheels seem to be circular. I've got brand new tyres on the way for them. Hubcaps, again, they're all nice, but I think a nice jet wash, and you can see all a bit scratched. So I'm going to give them a repaint, but they'll come up really nicely. I mean, when I say this thing's solid, you know, if it's just a case of like a big jet wash underneath on the patio setting, you know, and then maybe a good wax oil over everything. I mean, the brake lines and everything are mint. So this is just one of the rear drums, and they are all turning round, and the handbrake mech is free, which is incredible, isn't it? Coil springs, they'll jet wash nice, you know, all this here, bit of sort of, you know, blowing out there, but it's so nice. With a proper solid jet wash underneath, this thing's going to be amazing. It's going to be so good. And in the front, on both sides, the discs are spinning round beautifully, which does mean that the calipers are working, you know, and we've not... All this looks great. You know, those brake pipes look superb, trackward ends, everything looks nice. Some of the bushes are a little bit skew-iff, so for an MOT that might be something. I think this is just water inside the car as well, by the way. But yeah, MOT wise, I think it might just be some bushes and stuff. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But it is so nice under here. Even the backing plates, look at that backing plate. This is a 90s Italian car. It should by rights be completely rotten, but it isn't. Unfortunately, it did have a rain last night, and yeah, that spider got a bit wet. Can you see him there, look? Puddles, lots of puddles. Hello. I think the most important part of today is that I'm wearing gloves. What's this, a 12 do you reckon? Maybe a 13? I'm just going off feel, possibly a 12. So I'm going to take this bit of the roof off, and also, oh, this one's equally as crusty, and also this bit of the roof off. Tyres are coming very shortly, so I'll be able to put this inside tonight, which is going to be good because there'll be no interior in it. When I've taken something out like this, I like to screw the bolt back into the hole, just so it saves me trying to look for it later and I know exactly what goes where. With these ones here, I'm getting the picture of how they work and how they go back together. It all clips on, the entire thing clips onto the car, which is great. How that attaches though, I don't know. But it is going to be sort of easier said than done. I'm going to have to leave this one intact. I don't know, is that glued on there maybe? Don't know how that goes in, but you can see these bits are riveted on. Where's he off? Which is fair, isn't it? Rivets there, so I don't know. This one is completely toast, and I have got the feeling that that one there looks like that underneath the cloth, which is a little bit frustrating because I think this is supposed to be held on and look exactly like that, which again, not ideal. It's taken me a little while to work out how these front seats come out. See this little lip thing here? This is what stops this slider sliding all the way back, and there's no bolts. You essentially take the front bolts out and knock this in with a hammer. Is there one on this side? Yeah, it's been knocked in before, look, interesting. So knock those in with a hammer, and then you can slide the seat all the way out, and I guess you just prise them out again once the seat's gone back in. Yeah, done. Very straightforward bit of design, and there's much harder ones at the front there, so you've got to take it out via the rear. Bits of windscreen. It's not shattered how I thought it would either, the windscreen. That's interesting. But yeah, I mean, I want to try and get this whole carpet out. I'm sure it's not going to be too hard. I've already taken a lot of the strips, plastic bits, trims off the side of the car here. I'd like to have a look at the floor as well. And these things just go over this, so it should be fairly straightforward, I think. This bit's going to be the hardest because this bit goes behind the dash and stuff, so It's going to be a bit difficult. Don't know if there's another way, like if I could do this in the car, just this bit to save me having to take the dashboard apart. And the glove box, not glove box. Oh look, how's that supposed to work? Oh, it's like that. Oh, much better. Okay, you just got to make sure you keep doing that every time you go over a speed bump. Before I take this bolt out for the seatbelt, I've just tied this knot in the seatbelt, so this bit is nice and loose. Don't know why, to be honest. Don't know the science behind it, but I think it's just in case this reels in, you can't get it down far enough to be able to bolt it back up again. Something like that. I don't know. But anyway, let's see if this bolt undoes, because it's a little bit more corroded than the other side. Oh, flew out. Superb. Lovely. And now that can live up here somewhere, just for the time being. Next on the chopping block, the rear seat. They're Allen keys, which is fun, isn't it? Because they're definitely not going to round and stuff. Oh, nice and easy there. Don't know what's going to be lurking under the back of this, but it's probably going to want to kill me when it sees me, isn't it? Oh dear. Oh, look at the water running out of this seat. Oh, good Lord. It's amazing this car isn't more rustier than it is, considering it has pretty much just been a water butt for the last however long. That's horrendous. Will this just pull out now? Okay. Why isn't this staying up now? This worked yesterday. Okay, fine. Oh, is that going to come out as... Just ate something. Is that going to come out as one whole piece? Oh my God, those spider webs. Something to behold. Parcel shelf is part of it. That is weird. I've not seen that before. There's a few good design stuff on this Fiat Panda, but that isn't one of them. I mean, it doesn't take long to sort of strip a Fiat Panda down, does it? What about this rubber thing? Is this going to be easy enough to remove? Easy with two hands, I think. Slimy. Oh, my tools. Ooh. You've got to break an egg to make some omelettes, do you know what I mean? I've decided, seeing that everything's covered in glass, that I'm going to hoover it first, because that's probably a better idea than spreading all the glass all over my tarmac. Oh, this smells like I'm hoovering someone's potting shed. It's weird. That wire in there. Sure, I just heard something squeak. Daddy? As I accidentally crushed whatever it was under a bit of... Where did that go? Under a bit of carpet. Oh, there's a wood louse. How come? There's no wood in here. Bloody pedals. Okay, that is the carpet. And out here in the daylight, it's not that bad. I reckon that's going to clean up absolutely fine. I really do. I'm not deluded at all. In here, yeah, it's all pretty good. What's that thing? I think, is that some sort of pedal stopper thing? I think so. Goes on the back of the throttle pedal, maybe. I don't know, maybe if I take this off, I get another 50 horsepower. That's dead cool. Look at how good it is for rust and stuff, though. I mean, oh dear, I'm going to take all this out as well, actually. Oh, yeah, nice. Oh, that stinks. Oh, not only does it stink, but the majority of it fell apart. Oh my God. Like a great big pancake. This smells so bad. I wish I had smell-o-vision. You'd love to smell this. I'm going to leave that bulkhead one in because I can't be arsed taking it out. Can I, I'll get under there. It's really thick and hard and plastic and stuff, but I'll get under there with some cleaning things. That's all draining out that rust hole there, which is nice. All the wiring and stuff looks good. I think it's going to clean up all right, Just getting stuck into this dash, and professional Panda botherers call this thing the dash hammock because it's just a bar at the front and then it sort of attaches up here by magic by the looks of it. So these things are just held on with 3 screws, so I can put that in the to pressure wash pile and then drop the dash down. And if I remove a little bit of other stuff, but not loads, I'm going to be able to jet wash this. It's just going to run down there instead of me taking everything off there, because that's what you've got to take off if you want to take the whole thing out. And, if you have a look like behind stuff, see like there, where things have been covering it, it's not bad. So, let's just do that. And then I'll just hammer the hell out of everything else, make it all nice. In situ. As you can see, just 3 screws on this side because you can just pull this thing. You don't have to take the other one off. And yeah, it's down. That's going to be nice. It's all just going to sort of run down there. And underneath it is dead clean, as you can see. So I'm not too fussed. I'm happy with that. I've got to get the jet wash out now. There's a fair bit of stuff to crack on with here. It's Friday now. If I clean it all today, it's got Saturday, Sunday and Monday to dry before I need to refit everything on Tuesday, because that's when the windscreen's being fitted, and I'd like to build it all back up on Tuesday. That'd be nice. And for now as well, another great thing is Mobile Tyres of Cheshire is in the house. And he's about to put 4 new tyres on there, so once I've jet washed underneath the car and the rest of it, I can drop it back down on its wheels and we can see how well it moves. So you can watch me do all this now, all this jet washing and cleaning the car and seeing what we've got lurking underneath all that greenery. And while I'm doing it, we're going to thank the new Patreonaires. And I want to thank all of the Patreonaires because they're just brilliant. So I'm going to put the new ones' names on the car, the new guys and girls that have joined up, and then all the rest of them will have running down the side while I'm doing this amazing bit of jet washing. Hopefully it's going to be quite satisfying when it's done. I've come in this morning, Saturday, and my body is aching ever so slightly. That was hours of jet washing yesterday. And it's, I mean, yeah, the seats have come up really well, which is the sort of first thing. They've come up sort of super nice, still a bit wet and a little bit sun bleached in places as well, but no more green on them. Some of the sides didn't make it, so I'm gonna have to try and figure out what I can do with those. The other one's just here in the sun, again, trying to dry out and stuff, but it's pretty nice. And again, one of the sides has gone on that. The big bench seat for the back is, again, it's come up really nice, superb, but still drying out, and yeah, blown out quite badly. But I'm just, what can I do with that? How can I sort that? I just want to run a stitch all the way along it, really. I don't know how to sew. But the star of the show has got to be this carpet. Come out absolutely beautifully. Really, really nice. Thank God as well, because I mean, that, you know, trying to get another one of those would have been a bit of a pain. But yeah, really, really nice. So good. That's going to look spot on when it goes back in. And the car itself, I mean, I jet washed sort of everything, all underneath there and all the brakes, and it's just, yeah, it's looking superb, really. All in the back is, oh, again, looking real nice. The only issue is it has sort of bored a hole to my attention, which isn't the end of the world. It's only a tiny little one, but yeah, might have to do something to that for an MOT. The inside though, this bit again come up so nicely. Really pleased with that. Really pleased. And again, this is all dried out well and cleaned up okay, so that's really good. I'm going to give it all a bit of a wipe down first and stuff. Same as in here, everything's come up really well. Going to give it all a bit of a wipe down and a hoover. The headlining, you know, I've got seals and stuff to go back on there, so I might be able to tuck some of that headlining back in. I've had a look. And because I was feeling sorry for myself last night, I was soaking wet when I got home, soaking wet, all drenched all the way through, my boots and everything. I went on the internet and spent a little bit of money on something cool for this car, which we're going to see later on, but it is very cool. Paintwork wise, it's revealed some stuff. Now, that there, oh, we'll need that. That there isn't very nice, and the sill is a bit rough. And here, again, not particularly nice. Might have to put a little plate on that. All the side stripe has sort of died, but I've ordered a new one which will fit. And I'll just sort of toffee wheel all that one off, so at least it'll have a nice new stripe along the side. The bonnet's a lot nicer than I thought it'd be, but it's covered in like little dings. But again, I'm not too fussed about that really. This door though, it's got a few like white bits there, a bit of the paint's gone, a little bit frustrating. On Monday, I've got TGB Detailing coming over, and I'm going to assign him the task of trying to buff as much of the car as he can, trying to machine polish the car as he can, just because I've got some other stuff to do on Monday. So I thought someone might as well be working on this while I'm not. And I'm hoping he's going to be able to get a lot of the panels looking really nice, so the amount of stuff that I have to paint is reduced, which would be ideal. Under here though, I gave it a proper good jet wash as well, trying to get as much water down the carburetor as I could, but everything's come up so nice. And again, all that, do you remember that crap that was there, that squirrel's nest? Cleared all that out. There's lots of snails shells in it as well, which was dead weird, but everything else has come out really nice and clean, so that's good. I don't know if this thing's gonna, you know, start and run again okay though, because there was a lot of water in that dashboard yesterday. But I'm thinking, because it's such a nice day, instead of going to the pub, which I would normally do this time on a Saturday, I'm thinking I'm just going to spend a couple of hours now just putting as much of this interior back together as I can, and then getting the wheels on it and getting it inside, so at least in case it does rain over the weekend now, it can sit inside and dry out, because there's no roof, is there? the interior is somewhat back together. It's a good job that I sort of took all these out and just jet washed them all, because they were absolutely hanging, so all the seals are nice now and there's nothing lurking inside them. And this has come up really nicely. Bit stained that, but the rear seat goes on that, so it doesn't matter, you won't see it. It's going to look really nice, this thing. Under the bonnet, all back together. Right, rest of the wheels on, and we're going to drop it down. Might have to hook a battery pack up to it as well to be able to start it again, because the interior light's been on since, I don't know, whenever I started working on it yesterday. Didn't even see. But yeah, interior light works. Why does it feel like it's going to fall off? Punch a hole through the floor. Oh, lovely. She's back on the ground. Question is now, is how easy is she going to fire up? Are we going to have to get Big Bertha on her? Will the electric still work? Can we see a battery light? No, completely dead. Okay, I hope it's a dead battery and not everything under the dashboard has been killed. Oh, that wire's not even connected. That's probably not going to help, is it? Just loosely pop that on there. What about now? Potentially the automatic tailgate just closed because I connected the battery. What about now? Oh! At least that's still working, that's something. How'd you turn it off? Okay. No way, come on. Right, bit of choke. Don't know if you can tell then, but she seems to be running like a Swiss watch, and she just drove out of her parking space for the first time in 13 years, which I think is pretty bloody cool. I don't know about you. There's nothing else I can do today though. I can do everything I can do, and can you smell that? It smells like lager, 12 pints of, and I need to go and find out where that is. So I'll see you in a couple of days, and then we'll get straight back on this. Next week we've got to get this thing through an MOT. Bit of bodywork, windscreen, roof if all the parts arrive, and a lot of other stuff. Cool, see you then. Hello, welcome back to Monday. I'm wearing a shirt to give you guys the impression that I know what I'm doing, but to prove that I don't, I'm going to do a bit of upholstery. Because obviously the corners and stuff, the sides are a bit split on these seats, and I thought in my head, surely it can be dead easy to make them better. And this is what I've come up with so far. So this side, this is what, you know, a few of the seats were like. They're just, it's all frayed and split and been subject to the weather for quite a long time. But the seats themselves have come up okay. If not a little bit sun bleached, they are okay. They're still wet though. But this here, feast your eyes, I mean, on this is what I've done this morning. I mean, bearing in mind, you're going to see it from sort of this angle here when it's in the car. You're not really going to see any, you know, from the side or anything, but I think it's pretty good. And all I used was this stapler, which I found in the office, this stuff, and my Leatherman, just to cut off some of this, because if you cut a bit of that off, you can pull the sort of good cloth together a bit, and we don't need it to be as far out as it was. So this is what I'm essentially going to do on the other side here, exactly the same thing. And then I'm going to do it on those two as well. Apart from this side here, this side survived, which is good because this is the driver's side, so that's really handy, isn't it? I did look into getting seat covers and stuff as well, but sorry about that, Pannard. Just mega money. If you want to see 10-part series on this Pannard, then it's on YouTube, you can watch it and it's great. And I promise at some point this year I will be doing another video on it, and I will get it running again and do a few other jobs that it needs doing. We've got new headlights to go on, wipers and stuff like that, and just get it so it's able to just jump in it. I've got to put a fuel tank in it and stuff. A few jobs I'd like to do on this, but it's no rush. No rush, it's happy enough here, doing its thing. So the first thing I'm doing is just taking the edge off the foam. Bearing in mind, I only dreamt this process up about, half an hour ago, so it's not exactly, I wouldn't copy it unless you're really desperate. And then I'm just pinching these together like so, and then stapling them. So as you can see there, that's all stapled along, and the staples don't look very nice, but there's quite a lot of them in there, and it's nice and sort of strong. It's not going to go anywhere because I've taken a bit of the foam out, so it's not under a lot of compression. And the idea is to use this stuff to stick this over the staples. Mark's here, and that's that one done there, which is looking nice. Look, well, I mean, I wouldn't exactly say nice, but it's looking better than it was before, isn't it? And that's the main thing. That's what we're going for. And it's going to look fine when it's just sat in the back of the car with nobody sat in it ever. And if anybody wants to get in the back, I'll say no, you have to get a taxi. Tell you what, when this is in the car now, I mean, you're going to struggle to sort of see that anything was wrong. It's fine for what we need, for where we're going, It's just got to look okay, parked outside here. Shame it is as sort of sun bleached as it is, but it's, it's a sunshine car, it's got a sunshine roof. Seats are done, and they're looking superb, million times better than they were, and they're going to get us where we need to be. And I've also given these bits, and on the other seats and the sunroof things, a bit of the Hammerite black direct to rust metal paint, which is really, really good. What do you reckon? Million times better. Now, it's showing up the sort of few more dings on the bonnet, but I'm happy with that. I could spend days just, filling and sanding and doing loads of stuff with that bonnet. I'm happy enough with that. I'll happily cruise around with that. This door, it's a little bit annoying. These aren't just things. They're little dings across and a little ding down there and stuff. I mean, I'm just going to have to touch it up, really. I can't start, if you do that, you'll end up painting the whole car. And I've got to sort of know when to stop, really. So I'll put a bit of touch up in these white bits, and then we'll sort of see what it looks like. But it should be okay, should be fine. Everything else is coming up super nice, though. Really, really good. And I think with the final polish and stuff, still got to do the back. It's going to look all right. But I think the main sort of painting areas are going to be this bit down here, both sills, and the bumpers, because plastic bumpers are just, I think they'd benefit from another paint, definitely. Because I don't know how well you can see that there, but it's sort of all faded, or I don't know, just a bit lack of sort of prep or something. I don't really know what's going on with it. Weird. But I've got some nice, it's like there's not enough lacquer on it, that's what it is. But I've got some nice plastic primer, so we'll stick a load of that on. Just getting all my stuff ready for the hubcaps, and look what's arrived. Nice, nice new mirror, one that's missing from the other side. So I can get that on as well. It's only 3 screws. Nice. We are fully mirrored on this side. Again, another part towards its MOT. A couple of other things arrived. Pinstripe. Come on, so we'll get that on as well. That'll be a nice little finishing touch to add on. And also, these. This is a serious missing piece of the puzzle. Now, these are probably a little bit overkill, but they're proper, genuine Italian parts. At this juncture as well, I got these the other day. So if you ever want to send me anything, you can. And these people have, right? So I've got a couple of things. First of all, got a big letter off Robert and Catherine Shaw. Very nice. And I got another letter off Lee. Now, Lee sent me a couple of bits, some jugs, because he saw me using my paint cups for measuring, and I've already used a couple of other ones, like when I was filling up the coolant on the F250 before, so thanks very much for that. And I got this one from Philip Thwaites, who included, which I've already drank, a Red Bull. Fantastic. Superb. What a guy. And very handy because, so he sent me one of these, new one of these, because the last one ended up living underneath the Beetle. I could probably rescue it though. And what was the other thing? Ah, there it was. And a spark plug tester. So thank you very much. Very kind of you. Robert and Catherine sent me a load of nice J-cloths. Very, very kind. A couple of books for me to read. Some electrical contact cleaner, which is superb. I really do genuinely need that in my life, and possibly for this Panda, because there's a lot we haven't tasted yet. Lights, indicators. We'll worry about that later on. And some King Dick spanners. Top stuff. Thank you very much. If you want to send me anything, you can. This is the address to use. I'm going to put on the screen now. And this is the address to my record shop. If you're a vinyl record lover and you like your music, some people comment sometimes and say, oh, the music's really good on your channel. And it's because I own this record shop, which I've had for almost 12 years now. Sort of built it up from the ground a long, long time ago. And yeah, it's really cool. So if you are in the sort of vinyl record world, or you want to buy any cassette tapes or anything for your classic car, because we've got a big range of cassette tapes, pop down there to see them. A couple of amazing people working there, or go to the website, which is www.tastyrecords.co.uk, and have a look for yourself and see what that is all about. But that's another thing that I do when I'm not here. Cool. This is my little Milwaukee. Really good thing for taking all of these horrible, nasty scratches out. Thankfully, only one of the hubcaps is like this, so I'm not going to have to do it to all of them. The other ones I'll just give a quick rub down to. But whiz round with this a few times, being careful not to push too hard because it is only plastic, and then we'll give it a bit of a filler primer and a paint. So you can see, you know, what it was like, and then this is just a little sort of bit here that I've done. A couple of really deep gashes there, but you know, it sort of is what it is. It's fine. I'm going to hit it with some filler primer and stuff, so it'll take your eyes off those. But yeah, it's going to be loads better. I've just got to do it to the rest of it. But it takes 2 seconds when you've got one of these, you know. Just about to do the 4th one. And yeah, they're nice. Looking good so far. Pleased. Here's the finished result. Here's the others. And I think you'll agree they're going to look amazing on the car. Not really focused much on the how-to of that, because I've covered it quite a few times. But it is very, very straightforward. I did 3 coats of this. I then did 3 coats of this, and then 1 light coat and 1 heavy coat of this. It's Tuesday, and it's amazing the difference a windscreen makes to the car. Harry and Stuart from Mid-Cheshire Windscreens. Very smart van. Nice van this, mate.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Really smart thing.
Sort of make the business look.
I really like it. Really nice. Fancy. How long have you had it?
I've had this since new 2020.
Bloody hell.
2020.
Really, I love a crafter. I started my first job in the motor trade was selling Volkswagen commercial vehicles, and I loved the crafter when it came out then. It's very similar to a Sprinter though back then, but
Yeah, different though.
yeah. Oh, I love all the lights and stuff. Dead smart. Really nice bit of kit that. Yeah, very smart. Is that the one you drive, or is that the one you drive?
Both. Just depends what day it is.
Yeah. Right, do you want to see this windscreen then? Ta-da! Look at that. It's got a few fingerprints still left on it. Need to give it a bit of a clean, but wowee! What a transformation. So nice. All it needs now is a new set of wipers, which thankfully I've got over there. But look at that, isn't it good? It's starting to look like an actual prospect, isn't it? Like a potential real car. But there's one thing that massively lets this thing down, and it is this pinstripe. It is horrible and rotten and flaking off everywhere, and it's just, as soon as you look at the car, it looks horrible because of this pinstripe. It's nasty. It's never going to be the most beautiful Panda around if the side stripe looks like this, but if it looked like this, look at that! Proper job. So this is what I've been doing while they were, well, getting in the way while they were sort of doing the windscreen. Very, very nice. Still got a few little stragglers there. But yeah, beautiful new pinstripe on this side. I think on a car like this, it's a little bit basic, really does help. When I've touched these in and stuff and it takes your eye off those and a few other bits, it's going to look great. It's going to look really, really nice. Can't help but notice how, like, small that this scraper seal is, which is probably why the bottom of this door's rotted out, but anyway, whatever. Same on this side. Why are the scraper seals not big enough? What's happened? Might have to look into, can I buy bigger ones? If you know, if you're a Fiat Panda person, what's the crack there? Can I buy normal size ones, or were they all that size? It's weird. Don't like it. It's scaring me. So if you have some bad pinstriping, how do you go about sorting it? Well, it's dead easy. It's one of the easiest things you can do to brighten up your car, but you do need a couple of little bits of equipment. You're going to want to get yourself one of these orange spinny things. This is a toffee wheel. It's made out of rubber, like on the end of your pencils. And then, you know, you can don't leave it on there and burn through it for too long, but you've just got to sort of get all the crap off. It makes your life so much easier with a toffee wheel. And you're only aiming for the actual blue stuff itself, the actual pinstripe. Don't worry about the glue. The glue isn't the issue. It's just the actual pinstripe that's a bit hard and difficult to get off, unless you've got this. This is panel wipe. I'm sure there's other stuff out there that you can use, but this is really, really, really good. And yeah, it just gets rid of all glue and all that sort of stuff. You could probably use tar and glue remover, I'd imagine, if you were that way inclined. But I've never used it because this is a bit more industrial and a little bit better and makes very, very light work. And another reason you're using this is so your surface that you're going to put the new pinstripe on is clean of all stuff that will stop the stickiness sticking, which is important. And it's important that you don't leave any of the old glue or anything underneath there before you put your new one on, because it will be visible. You'll see it'll be bumpy. What's this? You're gonna come and help me with the pinstriping? No, you don't like that. It's chemicals. Yep. Don't like that. Now I always say this. Check your pinstripe as well. You've not got any like creases or anything in there, because that would be bad. This is as close as I could find to the original colour. A little sort of baby blue, but it's pretty nice. It's actually called sky blue, and because this is a sky, that's the model of the car, I thought, yeah, let's put some of that on. Now again, you can massively sort of overthink this. Got to go for it like you're grasping a nettle, you know. Don't do it centimetre by centimetre. Do a big run at a time. Hello, you come to watch. That's Buddy. Gorgeous black lab that sort of does the rounds. And pops in and just checks everything's okay. And try and make sure you're sort of equidistant all the way across. And that's it, she's on. That's your pinstripe. A few people have asked me in the past if I'd ever wrap a car. And the answer to that is no, because I believe wrapping cars is tacky and horrible. I hate it. I hate a wrapped car. Really, really dislike it. Unless it's like a race car or something and you're putting a set of a livery on it, then that's fine. It's perfectly excusable. I like that. But wrapping a car to change its colour, bleh, don't like, not interested. Paint is good, shininess is good. I can spot a wrapped car from a mile away. And then just take your little ends off. And that's it. As you can see, that's now very beautiful, lovely. And I'm going to do that to the rest of this car now. All of a sudden, a million times nicer and just shinier and better. Just looks cleaner. You know, that horrible mess from before. And now it's super sharp. So I imagine, like me, you're probably wondering how come we're, you know, hours into this video and we're nowhere near to getting this thing through an MOT, finishing up the interior, finishing the roof, getting it painted, doing all that cool stuff. And well, the answer is things take time, and this video is a little bit of old school tasty classics. This is what I like. I don't want to skip any part of the process, you know. I love Matt Armstrong and stuff, but this is not a channel where I go, this engine was in a million pieces, so we put it all back together and now it isn't anymore and it works. It's not really sort of that simple. I like to spend a little bit more time going through the different aspects of getting a car that was so disgusting back to something that is, you know, we're getting it back on the road. It's going to look quite nice when it's done and it's going to be MOT'd and we're going to be able to go for a little road trip in it. We haven't tested these yet and I don't want to test it with this on because it might scratch my lovely brand new windscreen. So, what kind of madness is this? Ugh. Lovely. Is it supposed to be there? Is that where they sit on Fiat Pandas? I don't know. I've got the back one to do as well, so we'll just chuck that on. Oh. Look at these sills. Has it had sills? Is that why they're white? But everything's white underneath the blue anyway, so I don't know, maybe not. But yeah, it is just a bit of a solid car. You know, really, really nice to see from a little Fiat Panda. You know, all the sort of inner sills and everything are nice as well, starting to go, but nothing a bit of wax oil won't slow down. And it's all nice and clean, so I can just give it a very, very easy liberal spray. Nice access to the oil filter and the drainer, so I'm just going to give that a quick oil change as well. But one of the annoying things is like these brakes, because I did press the brake pedal and now they're a bit more stuck on than they were. So I wonder if me and my big mouth saying that the calipers were fine and stuff, I wonder if they're not. It's not 100% perfect though, there's a couple of tiny little bits. So how can I easily, can you see that there? So I think that's a rust hole, but again, it doesn't look like it's not big, so I just, you know, give it a clean up and put a little plate over that, but there's something there, isn't there? Definitely. Here, it doesn't look like that on the other side, so unless he, you know, I don't know if he's going to ask me to, but he might ask for a little tiny plate across that. And in here, you can see that one there, a bit better, it's a bit rough, bit of a hole on both sides, so it's not perfectly rust free, but all in all it looks like a sort of a, you know, a morning's work, a few hours work to get those bits boxed off, as well as the only other bit of welding I want to do is this bit of the door here. Just do a little plate across all that there, worry about the inside and stuff. I mean, when I need to, I'll just fill it all with wax oil and stuff now again to hopefully slow it down, but it's all going to leak out of there if I don't do anything about that hole, isn't it? So I'm going to have to do something about it. I mean, it is a little bit unsightly. I do think, though, potentially it's a better idea to just go and get a failure on this before I start doing stuff, to get a proper failure on it, and that'll give us the opportunity to give this thing a spin on the road and maybe clean those front brakes up, get some heat into them. I don't know, but my gut is definitely telling me that getting a failure first is going to be a good idea. Someone needs to invent some of these that are slightly longer and work better. Come on. Oh yeah, much easier. A little bit of grease. And we're in. Okay, the exhaust held up. It's going to help when we go down the road, isn't it? What about the middle though? Why is the exhaust hard up against the body of the car? I think it's because it got picked up on a bloody forklift truck, isn't it? Right up against the body. Oh dear. Just notice, see this join here? This is possibly where it's blowing, because look. It's not supposed to do that. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. It's well hard up against there, even if I move it round. So I think this bit of the exhaust is bent. Yeah, you can see it there, it's kinked. So I'm going to go and look for a new one of those. Just checking the other fluids. And look what I've found. I love this car. Under the bonnet, you've got everything you ever need to fix the car. This is what I always go on about when I say, oh, get my BMW screwdriver. Similar sort of idea. Crosshead one side, Phillips on one side, flathead on the other. But there's one there in the engine bay. Incredible. Right then, let's, you watch the lights for me, I'll do the buttons. I've just had to get the boost back on her to fire her up. Still sounds a bit loud with that exhaust, doesn't she? But I'm wondering, we never checked to see if the alternator was actually charging. That's very good news. Feels like to hunt a little bit though. Weird little engine. It's got a bit of soul about it, I think. Wash jets and wipers. Oh! Oh! It's going nowhere near the windscreen, but it does, yes. What about wiper though? No windscreen wiper. Come on baby, come back to life. I can feel you in there. I can feel you. I can tell. Come on. That's it. It's going to be doing it on its own. Come on. Come on, you've got a nice new blade, you've got a nice new windscreen. Come on, you can do it. Let her do that for a moment, have a little dance, think about it. Put on a classics and we'll have a little dance, shall we? What song's that on? Come on, come on. Right, I'll let it carry on like that for a little bit. What else can we test? Horn works. She's live. That's an automatic pass, surely. Don't worry about the bus tolls, it doesn't matter about those. Very nice. Why is it so milky? Is that hazards? Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See if I can change a bulb in that one. What are the heaters doing? Yeah, I mean, they're sort of warmish, but they're doing something. Anyway, it's hazards off. Did I leave that indicator on? I did, and it's working. Nice. Right, that's half the battle. I'm really glad they're working. What about lights? With her ticking over like this, I'm trying to emulate the MOT ramp because she'll sit on there for anywhere up to an hour idling. So I just want to make sure she doesn't explode while that's happening. Flash! I can see one working, but I can't see that working. That's side lights apparently, and we're a side light down. Fixed it just by touching it. Oh yes, I think that's headlights, isn't it? Yeah, big bulbs are on. Both headlights are working at the back. I know both indicators are working on the back, so the only thing I need else for the MOT is the fog. What was that? Is the fog light and brakes. That brake pedal feels weird. Is it working though? Don't think it should be doing that. Right, I'm going to take these light things off and have a little look. Have a look at the brake light switch, and no fog light either. But also, I've just switched it off because it was getting a little bit hot. Is this why they call it the fire engine? Because it's as hot as a fire all the time? It's going to set on fire? I don't know. This fairly rudimentary setup here. See these two bits of metal? This one was just sort of over there, so it wasn't working. And when I knocked it, it moved over, so I've just sort of bent that back on, and now it works. Very, very Fiat. Just in the car messing about with the lights, and I've noticed it's much easier to see what's going on when you're pressing pedals and stuff if you take them out the back of the car and spin them around so you can see them. Very handy. Have we got reverse? Oh, nice. Right. I've fixed that, so that's the fog light, which is awesome. Just a little bit, needed a bit of that electrical contact cleaner. Fantastic. Putting everything to good use. But brakes though, brakes are nil poir so far. Because this thing's just been sat for so long, so it's dark down here, all the connections are just a little bit corroded, so I've just pulled these on and off a couple of times, and now when I press the brake, you can see... Can you see that bulb there? So we do have a brake light, but the other side isn't working, so I'm just going to go and check that bulb. Okay. Now we should have fog lights. Just nod your head. Oh, we got headlights? Yeah, headlights are on. Fog lights. And then brakes. Again, just nod your head, that'll do. And reverse. Oh, and indicators. Fabulous. If they all worked, that is a full ensemble of MOT-able lights, which is, well, you're halfway there then, aren't you? That went well, didn't it? I'm going to have to spend a little bit more time with a little file, and I'm going to have to clean up all of the contacts in these rear lights, because I did, and then they worked, and I put them back together, and then they don't work. So I'm going to do it all again. That's fine, it's okay, it's no problem. One more time. Let's try that again. Okay, hazards, or indicators if you like. Headlights. And fog lights. Reverse. And brake. Please tell me they all worked. Isn't that fabulous? Right, okay, I've also ordered a boot strap for it and the exhaust, and they are coming in 2 to 3 days. Also, I didn't tell you, but the roof cloth arrived, which is super cool. I've just got to get Dickie to sort out that bit of rusty metal, and then we'll get that fitted. Also, something else arrived today. But we'll save that reveal until the other part of it arrives, the wheel boss. But that's going to be super cool to replace that crappy thing. It's properly nice as well. Is it actually Nardi or is it a cheap Chinese knockoff? You'll never know, hopefully. But yeah, I'm excited to get all that fitted. Anyway, I'll see you in the morning. Oh, hi. Good morning. It's just started to rain inside, which is... Oh yeah, I've booked her in for an MOT. That's scary, isn't it? I wonder how she'll do. Hopefully she'll be okay. I've spent the morning doing a couple of little jobs, one of which you may notice by my height. I've put the seats back in. I've sat on a cushion though so I don't get a wet arse, but it looks really nice, looks really good. And with my little finishing touch, I think it's going to look superb. But I am just doing a little bit more cleaning this morning, just on a few little bits that I couldn't get to with the pressure washer. And I'm going to do the windows and stuff. While I'm doing this, I've been flushing the coolant and I think I've got it to a point now where it's okay. There's a little bleed screw on it, so I've been messing about with that, and I'm going to see what happens temperature-wise and heaters-wise, and then I'll show you. It's not looking too bad, really. I mean, it seems to be doing what it's supposed to do. This here, this radiator, top hose, bottom hose, no hoses on this side. So it's doing all the fluids just going in here, cooling down, then going out the bottom or out the top, whichever way it goes. But this here is for you to twist and it lets air escape. So it might have had a little bit of an airlock, because when I got it running, I just quickly threw fluid in it. I didn't really do anything else. That smoke that you can see there is just some fluid that I've spilt on the hot hoses. So yeah, I mean, until we get them out on the open road, I don't really know. One good thing though is that it's running really nicely. The choke's working, everything seems to be working better than it was yesterday, which is pretty cool. That weirdly placed mirror on the driver's side, I don't know why it's down there, but where it's supposed to be, there's a hole, and someone's put this bit of plastic over it there. I've got the feeling it was either a very tall driver or a very short driver, something like that. That's why it was moved down. I can't work it out, don't know. But I need some Tiger Seal to put this back on. Tiger Seal's black. It's very, very good. This Tiger Seal here, you see where this is going, is very old tube that I had lying around, but I push a screwdriver down it and it's still soft in the middle, but I can't force the plunger thing down anymore because that's stuck. So I need to extract just a small amount of Tiger Seal. So, I don't know, safety squints. Should have thought about that really, shouldn't I? Oh, look at all this glue. It's great stuff, Tiger Seal. Love it. Whoop. Right. Can I do this without getting it absolutely everywhere? Getting a lot more of this on my fingers than I probably would have liked. Thinners is exceptional at getting Tiger Seal off everything, including skin. Lovely. I forgot to show you yesterday, but check this out. Cool, yeah? I'm not running out of jobs to do today, but I'm trying to just do small jobs because I don't want to get into the painting or the welding or anything like that, because at any moment, Rob's going to call me and say, Ben, come down for your MOT. So I thought, a quick job we can do is this. Oh man, it's nice. It's so nice. And I think it's just going to make this thing look, it's going to change it and make it look like it's worth £1 million, this car. But the first thing I need to do is to get that old steering wheel off. Really annoying as well, but the temperature's properly taken a tumble again over the last couple of days. Ah! How do I do it then? There's a screw there. Tiny little Phillips screw, nice. Yeah, so back to snivelling and being freezing all the time, which is... I thought we were done with this. I thought it was summer. Now will it prize out without waking everyone up? Yes. Lovely. Now, is this going to be easy? Oh, beautiful, what a thing. Right. Do I retain any of this, I wonder? This is all I got with the kit. I've got the screws, which I think to fit the steering wheel. That's to fit the steering wheel. That must be the ring that contacts these. Is it that simple? Oh, there's numbers there. Okay. Maybe it is this simple. Maybe it is this straightforward. Okay, are you ready to see what it is that I've purchased? Nice little horn there. What do you think it is? What do you think it's going to look like? A nice leather one? Nice leather one would be cool, wouldn't it? Tell you what's cool though. Oh, look at that! Oh, swanky, eh? How nice. Is that how it sits, like that? How does it work? Let's just pop that through there. Find those. Do you need this? Or is that just... I don't think you do need that. I think that's... It doesn't fit inside the hole. This car is going to look not out of place in Casino Square in Monaco, I think, in the south of France when we go down there. We're not going down there. One day, maybe. If you're enjoying this content of rebuilding old cars, making them nice again, please hit the subscribe button. I'm precariously close to that 100,000. Who knows? Maybe I'll have hit it by the time this video comes out. I just don't know. But I am getting very, very close. So if you could hit that subscribe button, that'd be cool. And if loads of you do subscribe, one day I could have loads of money and I could go for big road trips to the south of France and stuff, you know? That'd be dead fun. Right. So I think that just attaches to that. Inserted for the horn to work. Okay, let's put the screws in first. My fingers are starting to seize. Why doesn't it fit all of a sudden? Have a look at that there. The holes all of a sudden don't line up. Why aren't they lining up? Just a little bit off centre. Is this because it's a cheap Chinese knockoff? That is annoying. Wow, let me have a little play with this. Really annoyingly, the holes just don't fit. That is super frustrating, and I think it's because it is unfortunately a cheap Chinese knockoff. It was on it. I haven't got tons of money to like throw at these things because this is just one video of this car, and I'm not selling it or anything afterwards. So it's quite a large financial outlay, really, when you include the time and stuff. Because I'm on day 6 of this already. But yeah, the holes don't line up because it was made by someone who doesn't want to make steering wheels in China, probably. Real ones of these are about 200 quid. This one isn't. This one is much more affordable. I think it was like 60 off eBay or something. So we're going to have to do some drilling, but it's fine. It's okay. Make sure you've got a firm grasp. Last one. I mean, if there was ever an argument for cheap Chinese knockoffs, this is probably it. The only other thing is, it might not actually be a cheap Chinese knockoff. It might just be a one that was made incorrectly and it was sold off as seconds. I don't know, but you can't even really notice the fact that they're not completely in their holes. And I just think it just looks the business. And I've got my nice little horn. It's just perfect. Really, really perfect. I love it. Just totally makes the car, doesn't it? And imagine if you're sort of walking past this now. Just walking past, like, look, pretend. Da, 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 when it's got its nice hubcaps on and stuff. And you go, oh, look at that. How swanky when it hasn't got a cushion on the seat as well. Use your imagination a bit, right? As I've been walking to and from the drill press, I've noticed this puddle here, right? And this little puddle, where the car has been sat, feels under the boot suspiciously like brake fluid. And when I went to stop then, and as I sort of parked it there, my foot sank all the way to the floor on the pedal. I mean, that's really not what you want when you're about to go down for an MOT. So I'd like to just have a little look and see if I can visibly see anything leaking. I don't know what else unless it's oil from when I did the oil filter, but that was more over here, not there. Some sort of oil, more than likely brake fluid. Right, let's pull her in and have another look. Next day, this arrived. Just going to change this dead quick now. Okay, nice 2-minute job. Hopefully it's going to mean nobody gets decapitated. Oh. Have I put the old one back on? No, I haven't. That's the old one. Come on. I mean, that's a bit rubbish, isn't it? That's Quinton Hazel. I used to live near Quinton Hazel factory, but might have to send that one back, get another one. Doesn't work. Cars. The plot thickens. See, that's where the puddle is, right? And that puddle is directly above what looks like the sort of gearbox there. Down here somewhere you can see the puddle like directly there. But the brake master cylinder is here, nowhere near the puddle. It looks a little bit wet round there because I've just taken the cap off to see if any of the fluid had gone down, which it hadn't. But all of the pipes and stuff, everything is bone dry and really clean and nice and in good condition. It's every time I press it, it just goes all the way to the floor, and it's a couple of pumps, and then it's a good pedal again. I don't know why. Could be master cylinder, could be the flexi hoses not letting fluid there or back quick enough, something like that. It's just a few things it could be, so I need to have a bit of a better look. So I can see it is a bit weepy there, directly over that hole. And this is a sort of gearbox end, so maybe there's a little tiny gearbox leak, but that doesn't look like any, I can't see it dripping or anything. Would that really have caused all that fluid there? I'm not sure. And I mean, all these brake pipes and the brake hoses and stuff, they don't look in bad condition. They're a bit old, but I mean, they look half decent, and so do the calipers and stuff, really. I just want to pull the handbrake and check both rears are the handbrake's working, because these are spinning. Lovely, both sides. Just reached in and pulled that up a few clicks. Nice. That's just a very light pull on the handbrake as well. Great news. So, handbrake works. If I do say get on the road and there's a problem with the brakes, at least I've got something, a little backup there, haven't I? You know? I've just given everything a real sort of lube up and then a bit of a hammer. And these things, the sliders, were a little bit stuck, but now they're not. So these things here were a little bit grimy. And I've done the same on this one here. And yeah, trying to sort of just allow the calipers to sort of work a little bit better. But yeah, I don't know. Need to get someone in there really to pump the brakes and let me see what happens.
Are you going to get there? Do you want to lift up? Right, that's the brake pedal.
Going to get in there, am I?
Yep, so Reg and Dickie have come to help. We're going to launch Dickie into the Panda and get him to press the brakes while I spin the wheels and see if things move properly. Hello, buddy. How are you doing? I've not got any food for you. I'm sorry, I've got nothing. I apologise. I'll try harder. What's that?
Second-hand windscreen.
No, brand new windscreen. Come on, man, look at that. What do you think of the steering wheel?
Very clean.
Steering wheel's good.
Nice.
It's been on the repair shop. I was saying the J blades is still a bit of polishing.
Right, can you give us what happens when you press the foot brake now? Does it go all the way to the floor?
Yeah.
Right, so give it a few pumps until it feels like a normal pedal. Can see that caliper pushing out. Right, so hold it where it feels like a good pedal.
Hold it.
Is that as hard as you can?
As it will go.
So you're using the your real leg or the wood one?
Right, give it a few more pumps. Right, and hold it when you get to the bottom of the pumps. Okay. Right, the back seems to be working. And the fronts, I mean, that's rock solid. And that is also rock solid. So the brakes are working, but if you let go of them now, Dickie,
Let them go.
and everything else. Right, see. So we're still held on a little bit there, but it's not bad, but
That's just finding a bit, isn't it?
it is. Just, see that's, so is that your foot off the brakes?
Cuts off.
Completely off.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not bad, but it's not great. They are binding a touch. Got a feeling it could be flexies, to be perfectly honest. That's what I'm sort of heading toward. Glad I pressure washed these seatbelts because they were pretty gross. Why do we always do this? Rob has given me the call. We've got to go. Now, I'm not expecting a pass, obviously. We're not expecting a pass, are we? No, that'd be crazy. What we're expecting is a failure on the exhaust and a couple of bits of welding and potentially anything else that Rob finds. That's second gear. We've got to get to a petrol station though. I only put that can in and I haven't got any other petrol on me. I hope I make it. Come on, little Panda, you can do this. Your first time on the road in 13 years. Let's see how things go for you. Speedo is working. That's awesome. It's third gear. Brakes are working, but there's definitely trouble. On the road, but boy, she's not happy about it. Come on, you can do this. Come on, it's not far. Blow out your cobwebs. Sounds like a tractor. Not a nice tractor either. Let's put that choke in a bit. I want to get a bit of warmth into it. We've got to get some fresh fuel in this thing. She needs some fresh juice. What about everything else though? I mean, seems to wobble all over the road like a Fiat does. I've driven a few stuff flying everywhere. My eye. I've driven a few things, a few old Fiats like Puntos and things, and they do all drive very similarly. Steering wheel's lovely though. Come on, you've got this. Nearly there. Whoa. Come on, come on. Obviously part of this MOT is going to be an emissions test. Now this is a pre-cat car, so it's a lot slacker than if it had a catalytic converter. But it's going to really help us to get it warmed up properly and stuff as well and blow any cobwebs out. So I'll give it a bit of beans on the way to Rob's now. Just hoping these brakes come to life a little bit more. They kind of are. We made it without blowing up. That's a good start. I've just put 26 quid of the finest Supreme and leaded. And look at that, fuel gauge is working. How bloody good. Right, let's try and get there with these brakes. We'll go the faster way, see if we can clean them up. Carburettor seems to be doing good so far. Don't know. Seems to be alright. Sounds like an absolute tractor though, because this bloody exhaust. Okay, here we go. Oh. Bit stuttery. Bloody hell, she's fast! 50 miles an hour! She's fast! Come on, what have we got? Get on! 55! Oh. Fifth gear, 55 miles an hour. Beautiful! Oh, getting blown around a touch and there's stuff flying everywhere! Oh wow! Come on! The temperature's staying at 90! Come on! You can do this, Panda, you can do this today. Choke all the way off. Oh, the speed! Right, let's try and clean these brakes up a bit. While there's nothing behind me. Doesn't like taking off again immediately, but that might clean up. Bit of a scouse service, bit of an Italian tune-up in this Italian car. You've got to really plant the throttle to get it to move, understandably. Come on! Oh, I can't wait to sort that exhaust though. Third gear, seen the synchro mesh has left the chat. But that's fine, we don't, you know, I don't mind a little bit of a crunch. If it crunches, you know it's there. What's up, Panda? You want to go to the south of France? Well, let's go then! MOT first. 60 mile an hour, like it's nothing. Rob seems to think that the brake issue is the brake master cylinder, so I'm just making sure one of those is on the way as well. 86 quid though, which isn't ideal, but we've got bigger problems than that. Absolutely lashing it down, which wouldn't be a problem at all if it wasn't for the fact that we haven't got a roof. Two massive big open holes. If I go quick enough, hopefully it'll just sort of not go as much in the car, but not ideal. There's been a break in the weather, so let's go for it before rain starts to come through there and hailstone. Right, back to base. Core blimey then, Governor. What do you think? It's not done too badly. Here is this MOT certificate that I've got in my hands. If you want to have a look at it, I'll show you a bit of a nice picture so you can pause the video and you can have a look in more detail. But I'll just run through it dead fast with you now. Essentially, there's the brakes issue. I've ordered a new master cylinder for it, so we are going to have to fit the master cylinder. There is another bit of welding. We knew about the two end caps, so there's welding to do on both the sort of inner sills, rear wheel arches. We know that's not bad, but we've got to do a little bit of work there. And he's found another bit, and this is underneath the bonnet, and it is underneath the battery. You can see underneath the battery tray there. It's pretty bad. I've just got to put a plate over it. Shouldn't take too long. There's also underneath that the master cylinder. Now if I'm removing all of the battery and everything, the battery tray, to do that welding, I've got great access to the master cylinder. So we'll get the master cylinder swapped out, because that's again what Rob thinks the problem with the brakes is. So we've got a few bits to do. The parts are on the way for all of it. I'm still going to change the flexies and stuff as well, because they, you know, they're a bit old, and I just want to change them, because I've got the feeling that might not be helping things as well. We've got headlights issues, right? Dip switch does not operate immediately when selected on dip beam. Not 100% sure what that means, but we need to go through some headlight stuff. It's probably going to be a similar situation to the back, just cleaning loads of contacts up and stuff. So we've got that to do. And it does say as well, the rear fog light's not working. It's after everything we did yesterday. Anyway, we'll have to do it again. Exhaust leaking and exhaust lambda, so we're going to get a new exhaust for it. That's on the way. It should be here hopefully tomorrow, and we'll get that put on. And there's an advisory for coil spring corroded rear bolt, but that's just an advisory, which means we don't have to do it, and we'll not be doing it. So look, the car drove really, really well to its MOT. It was really nice to drive. The engine seems perfect. The carburettor's behaving itself really well. On the way home then, it was just spot on. It wasn't really hesitating or anything. So I think that's going to really clear up. You know, it's driving straight. There was no wobbles, no knocks, bangs. Rob's happy with all the bushes and stuff, so I'm dead pleased with this little car. But there's still a lot of work to do. We've got to finish the roof. We've got to paint it. We've got to do all this MOT stuff, and I want to take it for a nice drive. Bit of an adventure and get this thing on the open road, you know. But you know, the problem is we're already quite far into this video. It's quite long. It's probably a couple of hours. I'm not 100% sure. So we're not going to be able to fit the rest of it in this episode. I'm sorry, but I'm going to start working on this tomorrow. I'm going to crack on. So by the time you're watching this, I'll have already been working on it for a couple of days. So the second part, it isn't going to take long to reach it at all. The second part should be out to you maybe a week's time, maybe even less. Who knows? But part 2 will be on its way. But thank you very much for watching part 1, and I hope you've enjoyed it. And you know, I'm so pleased with what we've been able to do so far, and I love my little Panda, and it's going to look great out there next to the rest of the fleet. Really, really pleased with it. Once we put a roof on it, because I can't leave it outside now because it keeps hailstoning every 2 minutes. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. See you soon. Bye.